I've been writing songs since I was about like 13, 14. I mean, I was naturally just drawn to like 60s and like psychedelia from that time.
I'm here with Slater, lead singer of Lifeguard sometimes, but also Sharp Pins, who we just saw here at Gabe's. You're kicking off your tour here.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to in these dates you're about to head out on?
The green rooms. We don't always have a rider, so we got some bread and wine every night. You know, can't beat that.
Because now you can drink that.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I touring a few years on a Fake ID was not. It sometimes had good opportunities, but most of the time it did not work out.
Tell me about what happened?
Well, in San Francisco, I booked the show, and at the time they didn't ask me if I was 21 or not. But then I got there, and I asked for my ID, and I gave them my ID. And stupidly, I gave them my real ID, because at the time I had a fake ID. And they were like, oh shit, like, we don't have the license for this. So I had to they were like, you just gotta sit outside, kid. And so, yeah, I sat out with like a blankie and like a water bottle outside the show and like tried to listen to the openers, and it was like, I got a cold and everything, so that was pretty bad.
Oh, so you weren't joking about needing a jacket right here.
Oh yeah, I run very cold. I mean, when I was a kid, I thought I was a vampire. And I just learned that I have dark rings under my eyes. I'm not actually a vampire, but I still like to write about vampires. Hey, Pop a Fang Out, that's a vampiric song.
You were alive in the 60s just as much as me, so I'm wondering where you actually got your influence.
It was just such a wellspring of an era, obviously, in like so many ways. And I guess that's like the era where I like learned how to write and about chords and stuff. And like I've always like dressed in a way that is inspired by people back then or whatever.
That tracks.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know. I'm really inspired by a lot of 60s movements, like not just like the British invasion, I mean, that's an obvious one, I feel. Like Tropicalia, I feel like that's kind of the peak of like music for me, or like cultural movement. And yeah, and like I think it has a lot of parallels to America right now. Just like, you know, this bright music in the face of a dictatorship and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of stuff to be inspired by.
Talk about inspiring. You are not even 22 years old, and you're at like 10 issues of the Hallogallo zine, is that correct?
I think 12.
I knew about the zine before I knew about you as a human. So
whoa, that's cool.
Tell me about like what that's been like, just championing that.
Yeah, that's
the Chicago scene.
Yeah, that started like, I started music, and then in COVID hit, like pretty soon after, I got really serious into it. And I dropped out of high school pretty soon into the pandemic and was like, I'm gonna do music. And at like parallel to this giant burst of creativity and inspiration and energy, I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't meet new people or like play shows, and zines seemed like a really natural way to communicate to people and talk about like what people in Chicago were fighting for and thinking about, and the art we were making. And we were really young, and you know, some of us were like 12, 13, 14, like making art and really excited about it, but without a platform. And, you know, social media got especially kind of dulled down and just like couldn't have any bit of it. So a zine was like a way to really bypass the algorithm stuff and Instagram and all that type of stuff. I mean, especially like, you know, protesting and like actually organizing people. It was just like really dulled down by the whole social media kind of repost chain culture. Mm-hmm. So the zine was kind of a combo of you know, talking about the art in Chicago and the movements in Chicago and stuff like that.
And then any bands, I mean, I found Horse Girl and Friko through that, obviously. Are there up and coming bands you're with now that haven't gotten the love?
Riddle M is this great one man, I guess it's not a band, he's one man band. You can define that how you will, but he's like a weirdo synth pop guy. I really like him. Answering Machines and Penoid and all those bands that Jackie, my friend, is in. Those all rock and are really do everything on tape and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool bands popping up all the time. Every album is kind of a reaction to itself for me. Radio DDR was very much like a, strong songs, like, when I originally released it was 11 just like, strongly written songs that I'd written over a long period of time and then recorded over a very short period of time, like over a week or whatever. And then Balloon, 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 I wanted to kind of do not the opposite of that, but with the fully like written ideas and stuff, have go back to more of like a process of like tape recording and experimentation and stuff. There's like kind of like a pop wave in America and kind of globally, but I think like people should be less afraid to get weird with it and experiment and be not revivalists, but still fuck with the formula and like express themselves in more creative ways than like being like a Beatles ripoff or something like that, I guess. So it was a very expressive album and very natural album. It was very fun to make and emotionally raw and kind of like unfiltered.
Finally, you're in at least 2 projects. You in any others?
Lifeguard, Sharp Pins, Silver Dolls.
Silver Dolls.
With my girlfriend Grace. It's like we were 2 like cybernetic like synth pop musicians that got like enslaved by this like rock venue that was owned by like mutant like munt creatures made out of like slime, and then we had to like we were like entrapped on like this moon colony, and then we had to make that album. And so hopefully Silver Dolls will do some touring on that.
Is that your newest of the 3 projects?
Yeah. So we'll wear like our like we have sequined like silver jumpsuits and stuff like that. So
I'm excited to catch that. I hope you bring that through Iowa.
Yeah, hopefully.
I know you haven't been to Iowa City before, but anywhere in Iowa besides driving through, maybe.
Driving through, yeah. It's beautiful. Listen to some Arthur Russell.
Hey.
Yeah.